Hello everybody and welcome back to English with Rashid. IELTS reading test can be challenging for various reasons. And in this video, I'll show you some crucial tips that can help you navigate through reading without a problem. Let's get started. In this video, first I'll tell you about the basic information about IELTS and these 8 tips to help you improve IELTS reading. First things first, IELTS reading tests a variety of reading skills, and although the question formats are the same, the text styles are different for academic and general training. You'll be given 60 minutes to answer 40 questions, and there are 3 different texts to read. First tip is that understand each question type. On exam day, you should be more concerned about finding the answers rather than wondering how to find the answer. Like, you shouldn't be worrying about what type of question is this and how I should be approaching. Every minute counts in this test. So it's important to grasp the various types of questions that might appear. Questions come in different forms such as multiple choice, true, false, matching, and many more. Take some time to familiarize yourself with each type. Understanding what each type question is asking for is very crucial. This way, when you encounter them during the actual test, you will have a better idea of how to approach and answer the questions more accurately. When you're familiar with the question types, it enhances your overall comprehension and helps you navigate through the reading passages more effectively. Let us look at an example. The type of question described is a matching question in IELTS reading test. In this specific case, it's a matching task where you need to associate events with the corresponding nationalities from provided list. Misunderstanding a matching question in IELTS reading test can lead to a waste of precious time for several reasons. The first one is wrong focus. If you misinterpret the question, you might focus on the wrong aspects of the text. This can lead you to spend time searching for information that is irrelevant to the specific task. Secondly, incorrect matching. Misunderstanding the task can result in matching events with incorrect nationalities. This mistake can cost you valuable points as each correct match contributes to your overall score. And then there is confusion in reading. If you don't understand the question well, you might get confused while reading the passage, and this confusion can slow you down, making it harder and harder to locate the necessary information efficiently. And lastly, the loss of confidence. Misinterpreting a question might shake your confidence, leading to anxiety and hesitation. This emotional response can further slow your ability to focus and perform well on the task. So if you know these types in advance and you have practiced them well enough, you wouldn't be finding any problem during the exam day. So before the exam, just test your abilities on each one of these questions, do more and more practice, and whatever question type you're struggling with, practice that question more so you are good in that question. And then read instructions carefully. Instructions are very important. They will tell you how many words to write if it's fill in the blank questions, for example, or choose more than one correct option, for example. If you miss these instructions, you may be finding the answers and writing them down the wrong way up. The next tip is prioritizing your questions. If you're focusing on the questions which are difficult and you're finding it hard to answer the questions, you're wasting your time. Instead, you should focus the question which you're finding it easier. Trying to solve everything in IELTS will backfire. Some of the questions will be easy and some will be extremely difficult. The wrong thing to do is to spend a lot of time on hard questions. And if the answer does not present itself, I believe you should move on to the next one. You can always come back to the difficult questions later. So just relax and don't worry too much. It's okay that you don't get every question right. You need to focus the question that you can do. Of course, there are going to be some questions that are going to be wrong. So accept that and work on something that you can do. And in many cases, I have found that those questions which you are finding it difficult to answer, once you skip them and do other questions, you have now better understanding of the text. And when you revisit those questions that you have left, you are sometimes able to find the answers. So it's just better to keep going, and instead of just sticking to one question and wasting time, move ahead. And then you should practice the right strategies. Make sure to practice different types of questions using effective strategies. While there are many tips on YouTube, not all of them are reliable. Stick to just trustworthy sources and authentic tips to ensure you're preparing in the best way possible. It is important to focus on the proven strategies rather than doing trial and errors with something that doesn't work. So you should only focus strategies that work for IELTS preparation, helping you build confidence and perform well on the test day. Another mistake would be to focus on the difficult words and thinking that probably because of these difficult words you won't be able to understand the contextual meaning. But in my opinion, it's the other way around. If you focus the contextual words, the words which are coming before and after the difficult words, you can understand the overall meaning, which is crucial in understanding the answer. So don't stress if you don't know every single word. In IELTS reading test, focus on grasping the main idea of the passage. Even if there are some difficult words that you don't understand, try to figure out the overall meaning. This way you can still answer the questions effectively and not get stuck on every unfamiliar word. If you don't understand a word in the test, you should look at the words and sentences around it for clues about its meaning, and sometimes they make perfect sense. My next tip is about time management, and I think this is the most important one. When you're doing the IELTS reading test, it's important to use your time wisely. The test has a fixed duration, and you want to make sure you have enough time to read all the passages and answer the questions. So how you can do it? Firstly, start by quickly looking through the passages, read the headings, some headings, and any bold or italicized text. This gives you a general idea what passage is about. And then you should allocate time. Divide your time among the passages. For example, if there are 3 passages and you have 1 hour, of course, you might decide to spend 20 minutes on each passage. Stick to the schedule as closely as possible. And then prioritize questions. Not all questions are equal. Some may be easier and quicker to answer than others. So start with the ones you find easiest and then move on to the more challenging ones. That way you would be able to finish the test in time. So you shouldn't spend time too much on single question. Guess if it's necessary. If you're running out of time and there are questions you haven't answered, take an educated guess. You're not penalized for wrong answers. So it's better to guess than to leave questions unanswered. Lastly, practice. Practice managing your time during practice tests. This helps you get a feel for how long you should spend on each passage and question. It also helps you improve your reading speed. Remember, it's very crucial to stay calm, and good management skills can really be effective in getting a good score in IELTS. My next tip is don't look for answers. When you're doing IELTS reading test, instead of searching for exact words or phrases from the questions in the passages, try to understand the overall meaning of the passage first. Don't focus only on finding specific answers word for word. So how you can do it? First, you should read for understanding. Begin by reading the passage to understand its main idea. Get a sense of the author's message or argument. And then identify keywords. Look for the keywords or key ideas related to the questions. These are the main concepts, not necessarily the exact words from the questions. Then you should always be flexible. Sometimes the answers might be expressed in a different way than the questions. So stay flexible and open to variations in the language. This approach helps you understand the context and meaning of the text, making it easier to locate the correct answers. It's about grasping the big picture before pinpointing specific details. And lastly, transfer all your answers onto the answer sheet instead of writing them on the question booklet. Because if you're writing the answers on the question booklet, it means you're going to waste twice as much time. First, you're writing all your answers on question booklet, and then you will be writing all the answers on the answer sheet. So you're taking too much time. So instead of doing that, whenever you find the first answer, instead of writing on the question booklet, directly write on the answer sheet. That way you can save some precious time. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'm sure that if you follow these tips, you are going to be much better in reading in no time. Goodbye.